Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Building Character, where we take RPGs, role-playing games, and do a character creation for that particular RPG. We jump back into some Dungeons and Dragons again. It's like home to us. So one of the reasons is because, of course, recently the Mordenkainen's Tomb of Foes came out. This is the regular copy, and this is the hobby exclusive version right here. It's a beautiful cover. So if you don't have one, you need to go get one. But it inspired us here at Game Trade Media to do some villain builds. So today's villain is the left-hand man of last week's boss that we created. So last week we created Gregory Alexander Stefano Horatio Sitwell, who is this guy right here in the purple vest right there. And now we're going to do the guy with the pole arm there. That is Stefano's left hand, right hand man. Kind of has a Pierce Brosnan or a Daniel Day-Lewis look about him. Reminds me a little bit of the character, Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York. So that's who we're going to be making today, is that guy. And of course, we want everybody's help. And one of the first things we want to figure out is who is he? What is this character? Is he? We got to give him a name. We got to give him a class, and we got to roll some stats. So, what's up, Chantel? To say hi to everybody out there. Welcome, all ye people who have joined us today. What's the last game you guys played? Anybody play D&D recently? Because I haven't played in a little bit, and I'm kind of getting the itch to sit down at a table and roll some dice. So, all right. So what's this guy's name? We got to in class. He kind of looks like he could be a weapons master, of obviously like a fighter. But is there a specialty class that you guys think he could fall under? And of course, he kind of looks human too, so his race will probably be human. Let's take a look what we got here. So we got Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard in the regular old player's handbook. Let's take a look at Mordenkainen's book and see if they were kind enough to give us some new classes. All right. Dwarves, Warrior, Gith. They've got the Blood War, they talk about that. The Lord of the Nine. There's some new monsters. I don't see any particular new classes in here so much. That's all right. But we are making a villain, so let's give this guy a name. Or do we jump into the stats right now? What do you guys want to do? Fighter type. Which guy? The red guy. Yeah, red guy. This is our... So that's the guy we're doing right there. He is he's the leader of the elite guard for Gregory Alexander Stefano Horatio Sitwell. So... play by post. All right. So yeah, if you guys have any input on that, I think we'll just start with the stats off the roll, real quick here. So our first stat, yeah, polearm master with that, yeah, that'd be cool. All right, here we go. First stat, and I need to drop one more. Ugh, that. It looks horrible. 6. Oh, man. It's like a flashback to last week's stat rolls. It was very, very difficult stats last week. All right, let's do another one. All right. Bow and arrow on his back, so maybe an arcane archer. I know, that was a horrible roll. All right, here we go. Next roll. There we go. 17. All right. Mulligan. Carrie's like, this is why we do point buy. Yeah, point buy is good. Yeah. And next roll. All right. 13. So for those of you that may have never done character creation with die roll, it's roll 4, take the highest 3. There we go. All right. Next roll. What we got there? 10. Okay. He's going to need a couple more, I think, up stats. We may have to take a mulligan on that 6. 6 is so hard. Maybe he's just not the wisest.
I was going to say, maybe he's really young.
Yeah. Like, only knows grunts. Oop. This one popped out there. What is that? 7, 12? All right. And last stat roll. Ranger, Hunter subtype, Polearm Mastery. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Because he could have been like a bounty hunter at one point. And 9, 10. Okay. All right, so I need you guys' vote. If you're doing 5th edition, remember these rolls are the one, and you can up stats when you know last. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to definitely be upstatting because of the 5th edition content. Absolutely, Philip. Thank you. Yeah, and welcome, Philip, by the way. I don't think we've had an opportunity to chat. So, yeah, so we have some stats here. We got 17, 13, 10, 12, 10, and 6. And because he is a human, he's going to get the ability score increase. 2 different ability scores of your choice increased by 1. We're going to go with the variant human traits. 1 gain proficiency in 1 skill of your choice, and you gain 1 feat of your choice. So we're going to go with that. Now, here's the thing. Gregory Alexander Stefano Horatio Sitwell, because we have to say his full name. It's one of his character flaws is he gets really upset when people don't utilize his full name. Is level 8, and he is a bard. Now this guy with the polearm is his like enforcer, the leader of his elite guard, and he's just, you know, he's just an all-around not a good dude. But we need to figure out what level he is, and I like the idea of him being a ranger. Keep the 6. All right, the 6 is killer. Pro Game Master and players, search 1st edition Game Master for 5th in Adventure League now. Nice. But if I could get a class, do we want to go with the Ranger? Like Carrie had a great stack of intel on that one earlier with Ranger Hunter subtype with a polearm mastery, which is actually not a bad idea. And I kind of want to. I kind of feel like this guy's wisdom would be his drop stat. What do you guys think? Do we want his higher stat to be strength or dexterity? Take those into consideration. I'm kind of feeling dexterity for him. So, what do you guys think? I also feel like, for some reason, this computer is going to restart. So, let me get this set up as well. All right. Yeah, wisdom low, easily manipulated. Yeah, especially by the bard. And who's to say that the bard hasn't been like making sure that his wisdom stays low? You know what I mean? Like through poisons or some sort of spell binding type thing. So we'll give him a 6 wisdom, which is so bad. probably level 6 or 7 if he's the guy's right-hand man. I was thinking 5 or 6 for this guy. So, yeah, we'll go 6th level.
Also, the bard
Yeah.
has super high charisma. So
Right.
it would work really well with low wisdom.
Oh,
For
absolutely.
this guy.
I agree. Polearm strength 2, high and damage not dex. Okay. 6 or 7, yeah, his was da, 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 da. All right, so we'll give him the 17 strength, 13 dex. We have a 10, 12, 10. So 10 intelligence, 10 charisma, 12 constitution. There we go. All right, so we have our stats. Now, because he is human, we're gonna be able to increase 2 stats, 1 point. Which 2 stats do you guys think this character should up? And again, it also is going to fall into the class. Are we going to go with Ranger or are we going to go straight fighter? What do you guys think? I'm kind of feeling, I like the idea of the Ranger. So, but I need you guys to give me some intel on that. We also got to come up with this cat's name. So, looking at him, it's obvious that he has a proclivity towards red in his armor and costuming and everything, because he dyes. So this character dyes all of his stuff red and with some blue hueing as well, oddly. But I still have to finish painting this miniature. He's not done yet. So what do you think? As far as a name. Yeah, I think Ranger is going to have to be the class. Thank you, Carrie. A 6th level Ranger. Let's take a look at Ranger. Yeah. No, I'll just restart. All right. Let's find out the Ranger. All right, here we go. So they're deadly hunters, independent adventurers. So we create our Rangers. And he's 6th level, so he's going to get also an additional ability score improvement as well, which is going to be great. Favored enemy, so we have to pick that. Beginning at 1st level, you have significant experience studying, tracking, hunting, and even talking to a certain type of enemy. Choose a type of favored enemy: aberrations, beasts, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fae, anything. Alternatively, you can select 2 races of humanoids, such as gnolls and orcs, as favored enemies. You have advantage on wisdom, survival checks to track your favored enemies, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them. When you gain this feature, you also learn 1 language of your choice that is spoken by your favored enemies, if they speak one at all. And you choose an additional favorite enemy when you, and as well as an associated language at 6th and 14th. Okay, so my thoughts on this, and I'm going to throw it out at you guys, is favored enemy human and orc, or human and elf. As a bounty hunter, I feel like maybe if he kind of early in his career was, going out and hunting down, humans and elves that had maybe broken a law or did some sort of crime and got away, and he would be out hunting them, or he's just a bounty hunter who does stuff for the highest bidder, kind of like a merchant marine or something like that. I'm trying to think of what was going. Bryce the Brutal for a red guy. Ranger, very nice. Okay, so we got Rangers. Dex for Ranger for range attacks. If you want him more attack power, need strength, need con for hit points. Yep. Human for sure. Elf sounds good because of he's a bad guy. I feel like human and orc or human and like goblins might make more sense. Okay, goblins. All right, so his favorite enemy, yeah, we'll go with favorite enemy. Oh, he's human. Ooh, yeah, neutral evil. All right, so I like Bryce. Carrie's basically building this character. Bryce the Brutal. He uses that pole arm almost like an executioner's axe sometimes, and I kind of envision that. It's like, oh, they said they wanted you dead or alive. I know you've surrendered, but all I need is your head. And he takes it. All right. So favorite enemy. Is human and orc. And his extra languages based on that would be well, obviously Orcish. Would have him take Orcish, but the human could be a specific dialect. I'll just put a specific dialect of a region. Okay. Hey, Justin, what's up? The New York Mets. No, we can't have them as the favorite enemy. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but no. All right. Need more ninjas or assassin Asian monsters? I agree. Everybody needs more of that. I'm interested to find out if they're going to do like a Far East expansion, like they've done the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. If they're going to do like a Far East Adventurers Guide, which would be kind of cool, bringing back some of the old Forgotten Realms, Oriental Adventures thing, which had some really cool content in there with like Oni ogres, which were really fun. So that would be cool if they come out with a supplement to that for 5th edition. All right. Our next thing is so what stats? Strength, dex. I'm thinking dex, bump them up to 14 on the dex with the first level pump up, and a 7 increase on his wisdom, just because we got to get his wisdom pumped up there too. And then when he reaches 4th level, he gets 1 more bump. So tell me what you think at that 4th level would have been his bump. Dueling +2 damage. Nice. All right. Let's see here. The computer restarted itself, so now it's like I gotta reboot it, or it's just waiting for it to reconnect to everything, and so I'm using my phone. So we got our stats minus the 1 bump. So I need you guys to give me some of that information. What's another bump we can give this guy in his stat for his 4th level ability score increase? Excuse me. Fighting style, spellcasting. What does it say for fighting style? At 2nd level, you adopt a particular style of fighting as your specialty. Choose one of the following options. You can take a fighting style option more than once, even if you later get to choose again. Archery, defense, dueling. Oh, I see what you're saying now. 2-weapon fighting. When you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with this weapon. So dueling, I think, would be good, because I feel like with this character, one of the things that he would kind of do is make people think that he's more used to like using the big pole arm or using his bow, but it's a sense of, he's a little smarter than we give him credit for, because he's actually much better with just melee weapons, one-handed melee weapons. So when he does get into a duel, he has those bonuses to, and it kind of would throw someone off. So I do like that. So fighting style dueling. All right. Let's put that down. I like that. And favorite enemy, natural explorer, fighting style, spell casting, ranger archetype. So at third level, we can actually pick a archetype. At third level, you can choose an archetype that you strive to emulate the hunter or beastmaster, both detailed at the end of the class description. Your choice grants you features at third level and again at 7th. So if you were to go with hunter, emulating the hunter archetype means accepting your place as a bulwark between civilization and the terrors of the wilderness. So at third level, you gain one of the following features. Colossus Slayer, your tenacity can wear down the most potent foes. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature takes an extra 1d8 damage if it's below its hit point maximum. You can deal this extra damage only once per turn. Giant Killer, when a large or larger creature within 5 feet of you hits or misses you with an attack, you can use your reaction to attack that creature immediately after its attack, provided that you can see the creature. Horde Breaker. Once in each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack, you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet of the original target and within range of your weapon. I like the idea of the Colossus Slayer if you were to take the archetype hunter. What are your thoughts, Leona?
I think that works.
Yeah?
Well, especially since the bard
Mm-hmm.
is supposed to gather those magical animals.
Right.
So, like, can that
Yeah.
Colossus Slayer, like, work in turn with that?
Yeah,
When they capture...
Oh, absolutely. There's another one here, too. So the other archetype is Beastmaster, which is also kind of neat. So at third level, you gain a beast companion that accompanies you on your adventures and is trained to fight along your side. Do we want to give this guy a pet? That could be kind of fearsome, that also keeps his men and enemies in line and helps him in tracking? I mean, that's kind of a scary thought, yeah? Ugh. What do you guys think? Everybody out there watching. Carrie? Philip? Michael? Did I miss something? Why is there an outhouse on the table? Aha! Aha!
Little did you know.
Yes. So a couple weeks ago, we did an episode of Building Character where we did some blind box unboxings of WizKids painted miniatures. The outhouse is a portal potty that portals in bad monsters and villains. Yeah, it's like the evil TARDIS. So we call it the evil TARDIS. And yeah, so yes.
Remember it had that, like,
the
algae
fungus
thing? Yeah, the fungus.
Yeah, the algae fungus thing that would create a portal that would port in bad monsters. Beastmaster is great. Trent Horizon Walker. Where is that at, Trent? What is a Horizon Walker, and where can I find that information? And Justin Siller says yes to Hunter. Extra help from Beast, like a bear pet. Nice, yeah. Something that is like super fearsome if we were to go the path of the Beastmaster. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But I want to know more about the Horizon Walker and what book is that in. I don't know if I have all the books here today. Is it in Xanthar's? Is it in Mordenkainen's or Xanthar's Guide to Everything? I'll look in Xanthar's. All right. Page 42. All right. So if you guys have this book, Xanthar's Guide to Everything, page 42 has the Ranger archetype Horizon Walker. Horizon Walkers guard the world against threats that originate from other planes or that seek to ravage the mortal realm with otherworldly magic. Okay, so just so you guys know, this character is a villain. He is a bad guy. But the other planar concept is kind of cool because his boss is a like a Barnum and Bailey. He has a freak show that he goes around and he gets these exotic creatures and beasts and stuff and puts on a display in tents and everything. But while that's all going on, he robs the rich of the city and stuff. So these rangers are also friends to any forces in the multiverse, especially benevolent dragons, fae, and elementals that work to preserve life and the order of the planes. So Horizon Walker is a cool character, obviously a very cool character concept, but it would not fit this dude. I'm kind of leaning towards the Beastmaster. Could you make his favorite enemies humanoids? That way he just hunts down people. Justin, that's exactly what we did. his favorite enemy is humans, first and foremost, because that is evil, right? So we're going to go ahead with his archetype as a Beastmaster, and because that also kind of fits with the whole, exotic creatures that his boss has in the circus or the freak show that he walks around with. All right. There we go. All right. Now, the next thing we usually do is go into our personality traits, which is, our personality traits, ideals, and we also have to pick the, their background. So this particular individual's background, what do you think would be best? Could he have been a criminal himself? I almost would go with like fallen hero. That would be kind of cool, if that were an archetype or a background. Hermit, Outlander. That's actually not bad. You grew up in the wilds, far from civilization, in the comforts of town and technology, which could attest to his lower wisdom as well, Survived weather and more extreme than any city dweller, could comprehend and enjoyed the solitude of being the only thinking creature for miles in any direction. The wilds are in your blood, whether you were a nomad or an explorer, a recluse or a hunter-gatherer, or even a marauder. Even in places where you don't know the specific features of the terrain, you know the way of the wilds. That's not bad. There's also sailor. He could have been a sailor or a soldier. Soldier would actually kind of fit as well. Yeah, the background. No, Phil, I have Xander's, Xanathar's guide. All right, here we go. So I'm kind of leaning towards soldier, sailor, or outlander as his background. What are your guys' thoughts on those three? Or do we roll a d6 and 1 and 2 for outlander, 3 and 4 for sailor, 5 and 6 for soldier? What do you guys think? Andrew says, I love Far Traveler as a bad guy. Yeah. Okay, so what do you guys want? I'd much rather you guys just pick one for me and we go with that to work on this cat's background. But I will roll and we'll let the dice we'll let the fate decide. Sailor. Okay. And Sarah says soldier. So we have 1 sailor, 1 soldier. Watch the next one be outlander. We're like, no. Justin says roll for it. All right. So you get one more answer, and then we'll make a decision on that. Where is Carrie still in there? You still watching, Carrie, or did you have to go? Carrie, break this tie. Oh. Soldier, we have 2 for soldier. All right, so we'll do that. Soldier it is. Background soldier. There's Philip with Outlander. All right, so soldier is the one that we would go with. All right, so soldier skill proficiencies are athletics and intimidation, which is kind of cool. And intimidate real quick. But soldiers, war has been your life for as long as you care to remember. You're trained as a youth, studied the use of weapons and armor, learned basic survival techniques. When you choose this background, work with your dungeon master to determine which military organization you were a part of, how far through its ranks you progressed, and what kind of experiences you had during your military career. Was it a standard army, a town guard, or a village militia? Or it might have been a nobles or merchants' private army or mercenary company. I kind of feel like this guy would have been like a mercenary of some sort. But his big thing was or even a noble's private army, and he would be the one that was tasked that if someone went AWOL, he was the one that would always have to be the one that go get them and either punish them or bring them back. That would be kind of cool. So they get a couple of interesting things there. But specialty, during your time as a soldier, you had a specific role to play in your unit or army. It says here, roll a d8 or choose from the options in the table below to determine your role. All right, we'll take a look at this. I like the idea of him being a scout, though. But let's see what the role says. A 2, and that is scout. His role as a soldier was a scout, hence the ranger. All right, so feature military rank. You have a military rank for your career as a soldier. Soldiers loyal to your former military organization still recognize your authority and influence, and they defer to you if they are of a lower rank. All right, so yeah, we'll just give him like a sergeant. The horrors of war combined with the rigid discipline of military service leave their mark on all soldiers, shaping their ideals, creating strong bonds, and often leaving them scarred and vulnerable to fear, shame, and hatred. So, all right. His personality trait. Picking 2 personality traits. It says we can roll a d8, or we can pick 2. Roll d8 twice. What do you guys want to do? Merc or private military. I like that, too, that he was a private military. That is super cool. Ooh, drill sergeant would have been fun too. All right, so D8 twice for his personality trait. A 3. It says, I've lost too many friends and I'm slow to make new ones. All right, that's not bad. And that's another reason why he's no longer with the military or militia that he was a part of, because we can say that like he lost so many members of his troop that literally the house that he was a part of, or the private organization, was literally wiped out. Very few left. He was one of the ones that was left. There we go. Lost too many men. Fellow soldiers. Okay. And then the second one would be it was a 3 again, but so we already rolled a 3, so we don't need that. 7. I have a crude sense of humor. That actually fits this guy, where it's not just crude, it's borderline sociopathic or psychopathic. You know, his whole thing is, like if he hunts down somebody or captures somebody and is like, the whole idea of, I got to take you back dead or alive, but I don't have an extra horse, so I'm just going to take your head. But I've surrendered. Yeah, whatever. And dang, you're done. Yeah, he's not a good dude. Next is his ideal. We'll find out what he's all about. That's a D6. See if this fits his character. A 5. Ideals, live and let live. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. Nah, that's not him. When people follow orders blindly, they embrace a kind of tyranny. In life, as in war, the stronger force wins. That's him. Might. Might makes right. Stronger force wins. That really does fit this guy. All right. Where's everybody from, by the way, who's in the chat? I'd like to know where you guys are from and, like, what's your local store that you hang out at? So we have Bond. It's another D6. Let's just read them off and pick one. I think this one is... So Bonds is, I would still lay down my life for the people I served with. I don't think that's him. Someone saved my life on the battlefield. To this day, I will never leave a friend behind. I think he would. My honor is my life. I'll never forget the crushing defeat my company suffered or the enemies who dealt it. I think that fits this guy. Those who fight beside me are those worth dying for? No. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. That's not him. I literally think that his company felt a crushing defeat, and he will never forget that, and probably has a huge, like, we could come up with a whole backstory of a certain, like, house or family that he has a huge, like, disdain for. So I like that. We'll never forget the loss of his company and the enemy that defeated them. That's sick. I live in Michigan. Philip. Very cool. Yeah, I like that, Diogo. The fourth one. His bond could be to his duty. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Madness is my local store. Hey, what's up, Patrick? So we did never forget crushing defeat and the enemies that defeated him. He has a huge like vendetta against that particular. Which okay, now that could be a really cool thing because again, these are villains, and you know I like the idea of the story behind why they are what they are. So let's say that the Sitwell family was involved in the whole organization and crushing of the private company that he was a part of, but he holds that inside and now is working for this particular Sitwell in a way to maybe find his own way to enact some sort of revenge against the Sitwell family, even though the current one he works for is a shunned member of that family.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, dark.
I was like, how can Gregory be involved in the destruction of his, house?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Josh says he's from Omaha, Nebraska, the game shop. That's cool. Justin, I use the chart just because it's formulaic for the program. We always do the backgrounds and the charts, but we don't necessarily have to roll for them. We can always pick what best fits and feeds our story. But again, if you guys have another idea that can fit into those categories that fleshes this character out as far as background and motivations and all that stuff, I'd love to hear them, and we've used them in the past when we've had those situations occur. Uh-oh, Jake's from Ohio, not a fan of my local store. I'm sorry, Jake. All right, so our last one here is his flaw. The monstrous enemy we faced in battle still leaves me quivering with fear. Nope. I have little respect for anyone who is not a proven warrior. Maybe. I made a terrible mistake in battle that cost many lives, and I would do anything to keep that mistake secret. Ooh.
That one.
Ooh, right?
It should be that one. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. He is the reason they fell, and yeah. I like it. I like that. So Bryce the Brutal is the reason, and that may not even be his real name. You know, he made a terrible mistake, which caused the fall of his company, and he keeps it secret, very close to his vest. I like that. Doesn't want it to get out, and he feels maybe that the only way he can atone for that is to defeat the Sitwell house, but he's doing it in such a way that he's literally elbowed up next to the this particular fallen Sitwell. It's kind of neat, kind of dark. Yeah, that does go well with the Bond. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I like the fact that, yeah, he thinks he's confident, but he's just super arrogant. And it could have been his arrogance. I like that, too, super confident. But is arrogant, truly just arrogant. And that actually fits very well with the mistake he made. He just felt that he just knew what best to do, and because of his arrogance and his overconfidence, it led to the fall of his company, and it still gets him in some hot water. I like that. Dungeon Crate. That's actually pretty good stuff. There we go. All right, so we got that information on him. Now let's take the last little piece we like to do in our character generation. We don't fill it all out every episode because we just don't have time. So the last thing we like to do is we take a little bit closer look at these miniatures that we're using as our reference points. This particular miniature is one of WizKid's unpainted pre-prime miniatures that we painted yesterday on Painted Happy Little Minis. But this guy, we got to give him something magical, maybe, or let's gear him up. Looking at what he has that pole arm. He has the bow, the crimson bow. He has a long sword. And the only thing on him that is not like in his color scheme besides the pole arm is that helmet. And I'm wondering if that helmet might be, maybe that's something special, or maybe the crimson bow has some sort of special quality to it. What do you guys think? What one thing on this guy is his item of choice? Gregory has a stopwatch in his hand that once per day he can dial it back 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes, once per day, to potentially change the outcome of a conversation or an event to best fall in favor for him. So that 5 minute replay is huge, powerful magic. What if he insulted one of the other family members, believing the company would be able to hold off any possible retribution? Trent, that's actually really good too. Josh, check it out. It's a great gamer subscription box. Yeah, it is. The helm could be magic, or the bow. You're right. Either one of those could be it. But do you think because he has a crimson bow that could be something, or could it be his longsword? Because he is a duelist in one of his specialties there, his fighting style. So the sword could be something that assists him in that as well. But let's give him something fun. What do you guys think? Helm can be magic. Yeah, time travel can be a tricky game to play. When I look at this guy, I kind of think that the crimson bow has a purpose and meaning in that it's stained red for a purpose. Like, he was a scout in this company. His company was defeated. He made an oath that he would rectify the situation because he was at fault. Like, I almost think that he may have stained the bow himself with either the blood of the enemies he's already taken on his path to making the, righting the wrong in his own mind, even though he's extremely evil, or it's the blood of his companions that fell, and it's his way of saying through your blood and binding it to this bow, you will also be there to help me in some capacity to defeat our enemy or enemies as I journey forth to right this wrong that I did, which also in itself could be very gruesome. So that's kind of where I'm going with that, is that the bow is either stained in the blood of fallen enemies on his path to righting the wrong, or it's the blood of his companions in some morbid mindset, but it also has granted the bow some sort of bonus or something. Could hold the soul of one of his enemies. Ooh, and make it a +2 long bow. Or it kind of looks more like a short bow, but a +2 bow. And it could be the crimson bow +2. And because it is the blood of his enemies, maybe it gives him advantage when going against his favored enemy, humans. What do you guys think on that? Like, always has advantage against humans when he uses it. Or humanoids. But wait, let me take a look. Don't they already get an advantage against the favored enemy? Don't want to like double that up, do we? Let's take a look. All right. You have an advantage on wisdom checks to track them, as well as on intelligence check to recall information about them. All right, so you get favor or advantage when tracking them and recalling information about your favored enemies. I think the bow gives them advantage in their attack against their favorite enemies. What do you guys think? Yeah. Traps souls of his former company and allows to cast Spirit Guardians. Wow, Trent. Spirit Guardians is, I mean, that's an interesting thing to put in there. Ooh, that's some high necromancy right there. But would that be something, I mean, it might be something that a very neutral evil person would do. Let me take a look at that particular spell real quick. And if you guys have any other input or anything, please keep putting it in the chat so that we can come up with finishing up this guy, his magical item there. All right.
Prince's idea is what I was thinking.
This trap souls?
To then be able to cast.
Yep, so here's what Spirit Guardian is, for those of you that do not know. You call forth spirits to protect you. They flit around you up to a distance of 15 feet for the duration. If you are good or neutral, their spectral forms appear angelic or fey. If you are evil, they appear fiendish. When this spell is cast, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creatures enter the area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom check. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. Wow. Okay. That's actually super morbid and actually super cool. Yeah. Yeah, Trent, I like it. Let's do it. All right, so the weapon is a +2 crimson bow of souls. All right. I'm also going to add in the advantage against humans, just because I feel like, why not? Advantage against in attack versus favorite enemy. And can cast, I love that, Spirit Guardian once per day. I don't feel like that anything more than that would just be super excessive. I mean, that's already that literally makes this a freaking powerful weapon right off the bat. What about the dread helm or boots of false tracks, so he can have a common magical item as well? Justin, you know what? The dread helm is not a bad idea. Yeah, he would definitely use, I think, the Spirit Guardians as his withdrawal method. Absolutely. Or, I mean, could you imagine going into a home under the direction of his boss to steal stuff, and he gets caught, and he literally just like, and has these 15 spectral, like demonic ghosts flitting about him. Oh yeah, any normal individual is not going to engage in that, and then he can make his escape, especially if he's shrouded and stuff, so he isn't recognized. Yeah, that's super cool. This guy has just turned into a legit badass. I also like the Boots of False Tracks. That's a good one. When we'll add that, that'll be the last item for him, as far as like special items. So yeah, which helps him get away, obviously, and not tracked. Just be like weird as like if a family is robbed by him and his companions under the direction of their boss, and it's like, where I didn't see an elephant. But those are the tracks that he tends to use. Something weird like that. All right, very cool. So we got about 9 minutes left. This guy's pretty good. So what we ended up making, everybody, is a 6-level ranger who is a beastmaster. Oh shoot, we didn't even come up with like a creature for him. His companion creature. Ooh. All right, that is your guys' task right now. We got to get that. We won't do any stat outs on the creature, but what would be a great creature for our Beastmaster, his companion creature? It's got to be super scary, too. Let me find this again real quick. Man, how did we miss that? How did I miss it? Because I do that. I miss things. So, at 3rd level, you gain a beast companion that accompanies you on your adventures and is trained to fight alongside you. Choose a beast that is no larger than medium and that has a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower. Appendix D presents statistics for the Hawk, Mastiff, and Panther as examples. Add your proficiency bonus to the beast AC, attack rolls, and damage rolls, as well as any saving throws and skills it is proficient in. The beast obeys your commands. If you are incapacitated or absent, the beast acts on its own, focusing on protecting you. While traveling through your favorite terrain with only the beast, you can move stealthily at a normal pace. If the beast dies, you can obtain a new companion by spending 8 hours magically bonding with a beast that isn't hostile to you and that meets the requirements. All right. A wolf bear. Yeah, Justin, thank you so much for joining us. Snow leopard. Snow leopard would be cool. Dire wolf is also very cool. Beastmaster. Yes. Liam, we need a beast. All right, so we have dire wolf, snow leopard. Philip, I'm not familiar with the wolf bear. Elk, giant badger. Oh, a giant badger would be pretty cool. Does elk fall under the medium 1/4 hit dice thing? Because those guys are mean. Bear is large, isn't it? I don't have a monster manual here with me. Let me do a quick peek. Oh, there it is, 5th edition. Brown bear. Here we go. It's large, so that would not fit the category. Let me take a look at a wolf. Would be kind of cool too, and so would a dire wolf actually. Let's go with dire wolf. Large beast. Just regular old wolf. Medium beast. A wolf, medium beast. I don't know. Yeah, 1/4 or lower as far as hit dice. So I'm almost inclined just to go with like a war dog, like a Mastiff war dog, that he gears up with like spikes and stuff, so that the dog just looks vicious, and is like his other companion, which would be kind of cool. What do you guys think about that? Like just a war dog of some sort. Wolf, spider. And I'm going to look up some of these creatures you guys are tossing at me. Yeah, giant wolf spider is medium beast, but it also has too many hit dice. I'm kind of. I think I'm going to go with the war dog Mastiff as his companion, and I'll stand him out on the side. All right, Philip, an ape. I mean, I would take it. Like, imagine if this guy was from the jungles of Cholt, and you could have an ape companion. But an ape is a larger creature. But I mean, these guys are a little bit larger than life, anyways. Maybe he could have came across and was able to take on a ape as his companion. But the thing is the ape's wiser than this character. And it would be like, hey, I don't think so. He's like, you're going to get me killed, like all the other companions you've had before. So, all right. So based on that intel, everybody, just break it down one more time. It's Bryce the Brutal. He's a ranger, 6th level ranger. He is the left-hand man to our main villain. He is a Beastmaster with a War Dog Mastiff. Favorite enemies are humanoids, especially humans. He was part of a private military with background soldier. He was a sergeant in that unit, but was a scout, hence his ranger stuff. He lost too many of his men and soldiers. He is the reason behind the loss, because one of his bonds and ideals and everything, his ideal is might makes right. He never forgets the loss of his company and the enemies who defeated them. He is super confident, but his confidence is truly just his arrogance. He made a terrible mistake, which caused the fall of his company, but he has to keep it a secret because of his mission to defeat the enemy that made it was the main cause. He has the +2 Crimson Bow of Souls, which gives him advantage on an attack versus his favorite enemy, and allows him to cast Spirit Guardian once per day. He also has Boots of False Tracks. So yeah, he's a pretty cool character, and that's our guy right there, Bryce. Thanks everybody for joining us today for Building Character. Make sure you're going to your friendly local game store. If you don't have one, I'm sorry. We hope that one will be near you soon. But if you don't have one, just keep coming back and watching us and everything. It's going to be we have a lot of fun here, and we enjoy having you as part of our community. We also have a couple other programs on Facebook and YouTube that are building. We have Painting Happy Little Minis, where we paint different miniatures from different lines, and then sometimes they find their way here, like this one did, for building character. And we also have Board Games and Beyond, which is kind of our news and what's new in the industry of tabletop gaming. And today, when that airs, the winner of our Star Wars Imperial Assault playmat will be announced. So if you have entered into that, which if you haven't, if you check out, there's a post on our Facebook page. You can just check it out, do what it asks you to do for the entries, and could be one of you guys could win that if you play Star Wars Imperial Assault. It's a pretty cool thing. On that note, I am Rick, and I'll see you at the game store. Guys, we're super excited to share that our new book, The Overstreet Guide to Collecting Tabletop Games, is now available.
We love tabletop gaming as much as you do, and we're so thrilled to share the finished book with the community. This book covers the history of the tabletop industry, from classic board games like Monopoly to collectible card games like Magic, and of course, RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons.
The book also highlights some of the top talent in the industry, featuring interviews with Peter Atkinson, Matthew Mercer, Larry Elmore, and many more. Plus, we chatted with collectors from all walks of life who shared their own knowledge and insight about tabletop collecting.
We also discuss everything from the impact of crowdfunding on the current state of the industry, as well as take a look at all sorts of ways to preserve your collection for years to come. This book provides a perfect snapshot of the tabletop industry at large and shows what makes this hobby so great.
You can head into your local game store or comic shop right now and pick up your copy of the Overstreet Guide to Collecting Tabletop Games. If they don't have it in stock, you can order your copy through Previews, through Game Trade Magazine, or through gemstonepub.com.
Thanks for watching Building Character. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.